Hi, friends. Welcome to Holy Week. I don't know about you, but the last few weeks of Lent, I've spent quite a bit of time in reflection, wondering, am I worthy of the gift that God has given me through the sacrifice of His Son? I've struggled with it, and at times I've said, no, I'm not sure I am, as I think about that ultimate sacrifice. I'm not sure I could offer up one of my children for the benefit of others. I'd rather offer up myself. I found myself at one point thinking about a movie I saw many years ago. Maybe you've heard of it. It was a movie by Mel Gibson called The Passion of Christ. I only saw the movie once. I don't think I could stand to watch it again. And I understand it's a theatrical representation of all that Jesus went through in that time of preparing himself for sacrifice, and all the pain that he endured during that time. And that movie was extremely graphic, but what it drove home to me is just how painful that process was and how much he went through for our benefit. The great act of love that he gave us through his sacrifice. And when I think about that, I come back to, am I worthy? Am I worthy of that great love? Am I worthy to be a person of grace, to receive probably the greatest gift that's ever been given humanity? It all comes to love. I want to share with you a scripture. It's from John 3:16 through 17. And this is a scripture I know that's familiar to you. This is from the Message. It says, "This is how much God loved the world. He gave his Son, his one and only Son. And this is why, so that no one need to be destroyed. By believing in him, anyone can have a whole and lasting life." God didn't go to all the trouble of sending his Son merely to point an accusing finger, telling how bad the world really was. He came to help, to put the world right again. That's why he came, was to balance the scales, to give us a fresh start, to cleanse us with his blood. An incredible act of love that I don't think we can really comprehend. One way I know to maybe illustrate how powerful love is I heard a story once where a man was traveling the trains in England, and he was sitting in a train, and across from him were two people in their 30s, two young men in their 30s. It was many years ago. And during the train ride, one of the men all of a sudden started having a seizure. I mean, he fell on the floor and was struggling with it, and his friend was there with him, putting a blanket or a jacket under his head and just, taking care of him as he worked through this seizure. And after a while, the young man finally settled down and was able to regain some kind of normalcy. His friend looked across to this man that witnessed this thing and said, "I'm so sorry that you had to witness this. This happens frequently, 2 to 3 times a week, and I do the best I can to care for him." You see, we were both in Vietnam, and we were exposed to just horrible things. But this man saved my life. I was shot in both legs, and the helicopter that was supposed to carry us out didn't show up. So my friend here put me over his shoulder and hauled me out of the jungle. 3 days it took for us to get out and to find safety. He carried me on his back the whole way, enduring incredible pain, incredible hurt to his own self, but he still trudged on. So you see, when I found out a few years ago the condition that he was in and that he was having these seizures on a regular basis, I was living in New York at the time, and I sold everything I had and took that cash and flew over here to be with him and committed to taking care of him for as long as I possibly could. What an incredible act of love that he did. He gave this man, and he gave this man because of the sacrifice that he had made to help save him. Kind of like, well, on a much smaller scale, the sacrifice that Christ makes for you and I. This week we are going to celebrate and recognize and feel the pain associated with that sacrifice. But we're also going to feel the great joy that comes from Christ defeating death, the resurrection, and the fact that he is with us every day, reminding us that we are worthy, that we are a people that are worth the sacrifice, the pain, and the just unbelievable things that he suffered on our behalf. It wasn't a one-time thing. It was something for all eternity. We are so blessed to have received that from Christ. And I'm so thankful that we get to spend a little bit of time over the next few days recognizing that gift and celebrating it. Friends, have an incredible Easter. Celebrate with your friends and your family. Share the great joy of the gift that you've been given, and share it with others so that they may know and experience the love of Christ. Our world will be a better place when all of us come to know and accept that gift. God bless you all. Have a happy Easter.